Many men have died fighting for the Islamic State in Syria and Iraq, among them an American citizen named Douglas MacArthur McCain. His involvement with the militants has raised concerns about the radicalization and recruitment of young men from immigrant communities throughout the United States.
The large Somali American community in the state of Minnesota is coming to terms with news that one of its own may be the second American to die with the terrorist group. VOA Midwest correspondent Kane Farabaugh tells the story to On Assignment's Rebecca Ward.
It is difficult for Goth Ali to believe the man in these shaky and grainy social media videos is the same man he met almost a decade ago, Abdirahman Muhammad.
And one of my friends, he told me, hey, Abdirahman is fighting for the Syria, I said, what? I thought he's going to Ethiopia and fighting. I was so shocked, actually.
Ali says the father of 9 left his family behind. And according to posts on his Facebook page that Ali believes are Muhammad's, he resurfaced earlier this year in the Middle East, brandishing weapons and calling for others to join him in jihad.
This is not necessarily a new phenomenon. Since 2007-2008, Somali Americans, perhaps as many as 24, have been leaving that immigrant community in Minnesota and traveling to Somalia to fight with the Al-Shabaab group. The new phenomenon here, or the new development, is that these Somali Americans that are leaving are not leaving to go to Somalia, they're leaving to go to Iraq and Syria. So this person that I talked to, his name is Goth Ali, he thought Abdirahman Muhammad was initially going back to Somalia or perhaps going back to Ethiopia, but when he saw these posts, these videos, these pictures that he was posting, brandishing weapons somewhere in the desert of Iraq and Syria, he became extremely concerned.
And you spoke to others in the community. How did they react to the news that one of their own had gone to Syria and or Iraq to fight?
Well, after, first of all, experiencing the shock of this news, there is, at least some understanding, though no support for this inclination to go back to the home country. But to go to Iraq and Syria is a foreign concept for a lot of these people. There really isn't any family connection there. And that's what's shocking and very confusing to a lot of people in that Somali American community.
But he was not the only person to leave the Somali community in Minnesota and go to Syria and Iraq.
Right, actually, Voice of America, some correspondents in our Somali service were able to talk to a family member whose brother had sent a text message from Turkey saying that he was getting ready to go into Syria to fight in the jihad.
Another Somali American from Minnesota, Abdi Mohammed Noor, is believed to be fighting in Syria. His sister Ifra told VOA earlier this year Noor sent her a text message indicating he planned to join the jihad. The men are believed to be part of a larger investigation by the FBI's field office in Minneapolis. Supervisory Special Agent E.K. Wilson did not talk about specific cases, but addressed the overall problem.
It's a significant concern of ours. It's a very high priority.
Wilson says the internet has become one of the key recruiting tools for terror groups.
It's created the opportunities, or more opportunities, I should say, for self-radicalization.
There are reports in Minneapolis from a local TV station that there's a 19-year-old Somali woman who has gone to fight in Iraq and Syria. So, it isn't just isolated to 1 or 2 people. There could be as many as a dozen or more that have gone back. And these guys are the source of an ongoing investigation by the FBI who are trying to keep tabs and monitor this situation.
How open is the community in talking with you about this phenomenon of going to fight elsewhere?
We have a colleague in the Somali American community there in Minnesota, Abdi, and he was a very good link for me to be able to reach out into that community to find somebody who was willing to talk. I must say, though, there are a lot of people who know maybe 1, maybe 2 people, maybe more that have gone to Iraq and Syria, but because they're also concerned about the legal ramifications or the overall ramifications of this, they're reluctant to speak publicly about what they know.
So the FBI has an idea of who these people are. What happens when they try to come back into the country?
The FBI, when I spoke to them, was not very specific about what the legal ramifications were or what legal action could be taken. It's a case-by-case basis, it seems. I can tell you that from some of these experiences with those that left the Somali American community and went to Somalia and came back, some have been prosecuted for aiding and abetting a terrorist organization. So depending on what occurs when you go overseas, if you can come back and you do come back, there might be a very troublesome and long legal battle you'll have to fight.
All right, and again, thanks to VOA's Kane Farabaugh.